Hey lovely people, today's video is about something that we all love doing. It's about cleaning. I don't like cleaning, but it has to be done. This video is not about how much I love or do not love cleaning. It is about how to clean in a more natural and sustainable way, because I do believe that we should all strive to do everything that we do in a more sustainable way. There are two main reasons why I started cleaning my house with fewer, more natural products. The first one is for environmental reasons. Obviously, anything that you use to clean your house will end up in our waterways, and that's not good for our fauna and flora if it contains harsh chemicals, which most, if not all, of these conventional products contain. Also, I think that if there's one thing that we know the earth doesn't need more of is plastic, and all of these or most of these come in plastic bottles. Now, the second reason is for health. It's not good for your health to be inhaling all of these toxic fumes. It's not good for your lungs, but also for other parts of your bodies. There are plenty of studies that demonstrate this. Now, there's a third reason why someone would want to clean with more natural, simple, and most importantly, fewer products, and that's money. I find that it's cheaper to do it the way that I'm doing it right now. So why not do it if it's cheaper and better for the environment and better for your health? It's like a triple whammy. It's better for everyone, except, the companies making the conventional products, because obviously they won't be selling you their products anymore if we all switch to cleaning naturally. There are two products that I use: vinegar in various dilutions and ways, and black soap. And you can substitute black soap for practically any kind of natural soap. It'll still work. Sometimes I will use baking soda, but that's really infrequently. It's basically vinegar, a type of soap, and water. Everybody probably has that already at home. This is all we use to clean the house, and we store most of it in this bucket. Also, a little shout out to water. Water is such an underestimated cleaning agent. There's so much that you can just clean by either leaving it in water and then just wiping it, or by using water and little elbow grease. So let's keep in mind that water might be the thing that cleans it, and then soap might be the thing that removes the bacteria. So don't forget that water is also really useful to clean. If you have nothing else, cleaning with water was probably going to be good too. Also, I don't believe that we should be living in sterile homes. They're not hospitals. There's no need for them to be that sterile, unless, of course, you're suffering from a disease or illness that requires your home to be completely sterile. For most people, there's really no need. There's also a reason why parents are being taught to let their children play in dirt, soil, just so that they kind of build an immunity for, the things that are around them. I believe that's true for your home as well. You obviously need to clean it and to clean it thoroughly, but I think it's important that you're also in contact with a little bit of bacteria and germs, just to keep your immune system active, let's say. We've got two cute free-range rabbits that don't live in a cage, so we sweep the kitchen floor every single day. Because we don't wear shoes inside, it's a lot nicer to walk on a clean floor than on all that rabbit poop. And even though we should, we don't vacuum every day. So I just sweep. It takes me less than 2 minutes, and then I get rid of all of that with a dustpan. Then on the days that we do clean more thoroughly, in any room we will start with dusting. And dusting is really the thing that I like the least, but it's important to start with that because whenever you do it, there are always small particles that fall down. So it makes sense to start with that. Next are the countertops. I will just use water for my countertops because they're made of marble. And although that's very nice, it means I can't use vinegar because any natural stone like granite or marble will be damaged by acidic things like vinegar or lemon juice, for example. So you definitely don't want to use either of those on your counter. Just a little bit of warm water is fine. You can maybe add a little bit of soap, but I don't find that that's necessary. I also remove every appliance, everything that's on my counter to make sure that I clean underneath so that there are no hot spots of bacteria. For the sink, I'd use the same rag and just my dish soap. This is a rag that I made out of an old towel, and the dish soap is just from the bulk section of my organic store. Any dish soap will work, just make sure that you clean every part of your sink, including the sides. In Europe, we don't have garbage disposals like in the US, but we do have those filter drains, so I make sure to clean that thoroughly because there's always food in there. Then I use pure vinegar on a microfiber cloth to clean the chrome faucet and makes it nice and shiny. The stove is really dirty. I first start by vacuuming it, and then I will clean it with water. Now, I noticed that there is one burner that's significantly dirtier than the others. I don't know how we let that happen. It probably hasn't been cleaned for a month. Normally, it's not that dirty, which means that it did require a little bit more effort this time. But I still just use water first, and then I use dish soap with a toothbrush, and then that metal little scrubby thing that you can see me using right now. And I could have cleaned it more, but to be honest, I was a bit tired of doing it at that stage. So I just finished it off with a little bit of water. I do scrub the burners themselves and wash them in water, and then I dry everything with a towel just to make sure that there aren't any watermarks. And then I have a clean stove. For the oven door, I use a 50-50 vinegar water solution and a microfiber cloth. I'd rather not use microfiber because it does lose microplastics, but it's what I bought about 7 or 8 years ago when I moved here. So it's what I have, and I'm gonna keep using it until it falls apart. There's no point buying something new at this stage. Now, we do vacuum every other day or sometimes every 3 days. And when we do, that's the last thing we do, unless it's at the time to mop the floor, in which case I will take some lukewarm to warm water and a little bit of my citrus infused vinegar. I will show you at the end of the video how I make that. And basically I mop the floor with this cotton mop. I don't know if it's good, bad, better, worse. It's the only mop I've ever used. So I just clean the floor. Now, sometimes there are these little bits on the floor and the water of the mop helps loosen it, and then I either use my hands or a toothbrush to get rid of it. And you can see that the water is nice and dirty, which means I did a good job. Just like any other room, once a week we will start cleaning the living room by dusting everything, and that's really when minimalism shines through, because the fewer items you have, the fewer items you have to remove dust from. After that, we will vacuum, and in the case of the living room, we do it really thoroughly because that's where the rabbits spend most of their time, so it gets really dirty. Then once every 2 to 3 months, I will use warm water with a little bit of this natural soap to clean the wooden floors. I probably should do it more often, but I can get away with doing it just every 3 months because we don't wear shoes inside. So it's good for removing those water stains, but it's also just good to clean your floors every once in a while, and you'll notice that it needed cleaning. Ew. Now I will Cinderella my way across the floor. I don't think it's degrading to clean that way because it's honestly the most efficient and best way to clean the floors. So that's the way I do it. For my bathroom mirror, just like any other mirror or window, I use my 50-50 vinegar water mixture with this dedicated green rag. Then I fill my sink halfway with lukewarm water and add a little bit of black soap and mix that in. I drop my toilet rag and squeeze out all the excess water and clean the outside of my toilet. I think it's important to have at least 2 rags, one for the toilet and one for everything else, just to keep things hygienic. I'm using 4 different ones because they came in a pack of 4, so this pink one is the one I dedicated to my toilet. Now I'm spraying vinegar just to clean that part a little bit more thoroughly, and I'm spraying the inside because I want to get rid of limescale and other mineral buildup. So you want to spray it and let it sit for at least 3 minutes just to let the acid work its magic. You're going to see that I've got a little bit of limescale buildup on the back and on the sides and also at the bottom, so I'm going to spray that water as well and let it sit for 3 minutes. Now I'm brushing with that toilet brush. You only want to brush with a toilet brush and not with anything metal because you're going to damage your porcelain and that's no good, so don't use metal inside of your toilet, please. All clean. the sink is still full of that soapy water, so I'm just using an old sponge to clean it. Once that sponge is destroyed, I'm just gonna use an old towel rag. I'm also using an old toothbrush, and toothbrushes are really useful to clean, so keep at least one of them. Now, just like in the kitchen, this is marble, so I'm only cleaning it with some water. And here I am again with my turquoise blue rag and pure vinegar to make sure these taps are nice and shiny. Now for the bathtub, I use that same old sponge and a little bit of black soap, and I basically rub the whole bathtub. Now it's typically dirtier than this, so I have to top up with some extra soap along the way. And then I just rinse it with cold water and make sure to also clean the outer edge of the bathtub. Now I'm sure you know what I'm using, but in case you don't, I'm just using 100% pure vinegar to clean this tap. Same thing here, I'm using my turquoise blue rag dedicated to taps and faucets and 100% pure vinegar. And my vinegar is 8%, and that's plenty. You don't need to buy the special cleaning vinegar that's 12%. 8% works well. Also, make sure that if you've got a shower kind of like this, that you get every nook and cranny because it gets everywhere. Now for the walls of my shower, I'm using the 50-50 vinegar water solution just because I live in hard water area, and look at these tiles, they're gross. And here again, that green rag and the 50-50 water vinegar mixture for my window. For larger windows or mirrors, I still use the same mixture and rag. I don't spray the window directly because the water falls quite fast and I don't want it to fall on the wood. And then I just use this squeegee so that it's nice and clean. Now I understand that you can't see very much on this window because the exposure is terrible, so I just redid it on my bathroom door. Now I don't like cleaning, but using a squeegee is very satisfying. I mean, look at this. Also, I like this squeegee because you can just remove the rubber part and replace it, and the handle is metal. That's how you know you're an adult, is when you start liking cleaning tools. A lot of the zero waste, eco-friendly, sustainable tricks and hacks and whatnot can be considered ableist, and they might discriminate against low-income people. I don't personally believe that what I'm talking about today fits those two categories. First of all, it's cheaper, so it would be more interesting for people who make less money to switch over to using fewer products and simpler products that just cost less. So you're saving money by cleaning in a more sustainable way. It's like a win-win. And as far as ableism goes, if someone is cleaning their house or their apartment themselves, then this isn't making it harder. Just as much time, just as much work, just different products. And if you're not cleaning your house yourself, then you could maybe ask whoever's cleaning it to clean it in a more natural and sustainable way, or not. Nobody has to do what I say. You just have to do whatever feels right for you. I'm just showing what works for me and what has worked for me for the past 5 or 6 years. And I just want to share that with you. I want to share how I clean my house with few products that are cheap and, well, I'm not going to say healthy, but they're not unhealthy. So you can take bits that you like and not take bits that you don't like. I'm just showing you that there are options. All I'm trying to say is that you don't need a product for your bath, your sink, your faucet, your windows, your oven, your stove, your wooden floors. I don't know what else. You don't need so many products. You need few products. Now, of course, if you still have conventional products at home, use them. By all means, use them. And then if you want to switch over to more natural products, then buy those other products. Or buy them now if you don't already have them at home. Test them out, see if it works for you. If it does, great. Once your products are used, then you can switch over. And if it doesn't work for you, then that's that. And because it's so cheap, you won't have lost much money. To make citrus fruit infused vinegar, you're going to need citrus fruit, vinegar, and a jar. I'm just going to be making it with 1 orange and a lime because I don't actually need any more right now, but I do want to show you how I make it. So grab any fruits you want to use and peel them. Then add all of these skins into a jar. You can use a jar as big or as small as you want. It just depends how big of a batch you want to make and how many fruits you've got. Then you want to top all of that off with vinegar. I'm using 8% vinegar here, which is perfectly fine. Make sure that all of the skins are covered and you want to close the jar with the lid. And you're done. Now all you have to do is wait. Put it in a cupboard and forget about it for 2 months. This has been in my cupboard for over 2 months, so it's ready to be used. I'm going to add it to my current vinegar by straining it to make sure that there are no bits. I don't mind that these two blends are together. And that's how you make a citrus fruit infused vinegar that you can use as an all-purpose cleaner. Thanks for watching.